All right, welding is done. I threw a little bit of paint on here, so that's all good now. I just didn't want there to be bare metal, so I'm going to take off the ratchet, lay this down, get the pin in, see what we can do to try and get this back in. I was going to try and protect it with a board in there. I don't know if I can get something in there or not. We'll see what we can do. But here goes. Hopefully it doesn't flop down. I don't think it will. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to flop. That off. Take it off this side. See what I can do to get this all around. All right, here we go. All right, that's laying down there now. So I'm going to shimmy this up in there. See what I can do. I might be able to get that board in there. I'm not sure. The trouble is, if I get that in there, I'm not sure if I can get it out. Am I going to hit anything? Not really. All right, I'm going to shimmy this around. I may have to get the machine. Let's see if I can do that. I don't have my tripod up here. Let's see what I can do by getting that in there. All right, I managed to find a piece of 2x4 that would fit. So what I'm going to do is pick up the cylinder, lay it on there. You can see there were two hard lines along the bottom. I scratched them a little bit coming out, but I don't think it hurt anything. But just so I make sure I don't, I'm going to lay that on there so it slides up here and keeps it up off of those two lines. And then we'll try and slide it in. Attach our piston here, extend it out, probably in and out, and I'll have this thing, I think, suspended like I did when I took it off. Try and get this hole to line up. So I'm going to get this set up here. I'll get that machine moved around, positioned where I had it before, and see what we can do. I think the ratchet worked really well, so I'm going to try that again. Okay, here we go. right, well, my camera died on me yesterday before I could finish filming me putting the cylinder in. It was tedious, but it wasn't difficult, I guess is the way I'd put it. I had to do a lot of up and down, and what I found was having trouble lining this up because when I put it in at first it had twisted a little bit, so it made it tough lining this up. But once I figured that out and put my big pipe wrench, you're going to see me down there, I just put it on here and twisted it back straight, lifted it up a couple times with the 580, a few in and outs, and finally that pin lined up and in it went. Had one minor leak down here at the hard fitting underneath, and all I had to do was tighten it up. Other than that, everything was fine. No leaks, no major issues there. So I was quite pleased. Today I took a little bit of heat, but finally got my fittings loose, got my hoses off. I actually did loosen them back here at the boom. I did that mostly if I ever get stuck up in the woods and if I rupture one of these lines for some reason. I wanted to know I'd at least loosen these once so I can get them off. Those should be pretty easy to replace if I ever lose something in the woods. Just run to the, they say run to the store. It's a long journey, but at least it's something I could probably just get off the shelf and put them on. They look like they're good to me, so those are the only two lines I'm going to chance on this whole thing. So I've already gotten the lines off. I've already loosened this with the big pipe wrench. It turned out not to be too hard. Gonna pull the pin and take off our nut here and pull this out, and then I'm gonna go repack it. This is the only, knock on wood, right now this is the only cylinder in this entire machine that's leaking. So I have the seal kit and I'm gonna repack it and put it back on. Then the hydraulics should be done. All right, I finally got that internal snap ring out. You can see it there. And what I found is I just took a screwdriver. Once I finally got this driven in far enough to really see that snap ring, I just took a screwdriver and drove it under the edge and then pried it and then worked around and it came right out. But that took me a while to figure out because I wasn't quite sure what was going on. But there's the snap ring. It is a round one, it's not a square one. So that kind of helped. So I got it out, so now kind of running out of daylight today, but we're gonna pull that out tomorrow, and then I'll put the new packing on, and then we'll put it all back together. Give you my engineering diatribe. I don't know whoever thought that up as a good system. They should be made to go take it apart in the cold and the wet. Anyway, I got it out of there. Just as a comparison, now that I'm doing a cylinder pack on this, I've done a lot of cylinder packing on that, and I'm not big on brand loyalty. I mean, John Deere, Case. I guess everybody, you know, the best of the best is Cat, but I don't have any Cats. But I've got Internationals, and I've got Ferguson's, and I've got Case, and I've got John Deere. And what I can tell you is whatever cylinder, whether it's a manufacturer or whether they did themselves, the Case ones are far easier to deal with. You take the rod, you know, the whole entire rod guide is a threaded piece. When you take it out, you just take it out and the whole rod will come out. You don't have to deal with snap rings and other stupidity. So anyway, we'll get that out and we'll repack everything, get it put back together, and that will be tomorrow's project. So once this is done, as far as I know, all of my hydraulics will be done on this machine. They should be all in good shape. The only thing I'd worry about are these two hoses, and I've now loosened them and retightened them, so I know I can get them off if that happens. Hopefully none of the internal hard lines break. That's the only other thing I guess I would worry about. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow.